Hello again. I'm still feeling a little under the weather due to lack of sleep, so instead of sitting here and trying to get my brain goo to operate properly before it leaks out my ears, I'm gonna just dig around in my archives and show you some stuff that got cut out of some other videos. Enjoy. Story time. Another scar story. This one on my arm, and once again it's faded a lot over time because I heal nice and quick, so it doesn't really show up on cam that well, but it's right there. This one happened just after I first got my scooter. Now, being an inexperienced rider, as anyone who's ever learnt to ride a motorcycle knows, it's fairly intimidating and takes a while to get used to having that kind of power and control. It's a very responsive vehicle. Now, like I said, this was just after I first got the scooter, and of course I was riding all the time because it's just that much fun. I was coming across a bridge we have here, and on this bridge there's a off-ramp with a gentle curve, and so I come around this curve one day doing about 40-50 k an hour, and I hit something on the road. A piece of I think it was pinstriping had come off a car somewhere along the lines and was laying in the road. So my front wheel hits this piece of crap on the road and I lose control. Not total. I just sort of get a bit wobbly and start heading wide around the curve as I try to regain control. And I'm trying to turn into the curve. I'm starting to panic. I tighten up and I slam into the side, into the big steel guardrail that runs along the side, and it hurt. I slam into this thing and I bounce along, skidding along it. The thing's grinding against my arm, grinding against my fingers, and tears off the left hand side wing mirror, and I scrape along this thing for, I don't know, maybe 40-50 meters. The friction tears a hole in my armor jacket along the arm and scuffs up my glove a little bit as my little finger on the edge of the handle starts skimming along the edge as well. If I wasn't wearing the armor jacket, I'm pretty sure I would have broken my damn arm. As I skid along, the nylon mesh lining of that armor jacket starts to melt into my skin. I come to a stop and I lay the bike down, sit on the side of the road and try and calm myself down. As luck would have it, a couple of other bikers were coming up behind me. They stopped to make sure I was okay. A cab driver also stopped to make sure I was okay, which is really nice of him. And I assure them I'm okay. Once I had calmed down enough and figured my arm wasn't in fact broken, I climbed back on the bike and rode home, rather sheepishly. Once I got home, I took off the jacket and inspected the damage. I had a little gash in my arm, which was filled with melted nylon, and my arm was literally purple from the shoulder all the way down past my elbow. It was just a mass of bruised tissue, and that took a long time to heal too. But it was a fairly shocking experience and left me with a little scar. So that's scar story number 2. And every time I come around that bend, even now, more than a year later, I still get a little twinge of nervousness remembering that accident. Fortunately, to date, that was my one and only accident on the bike so far. Touch wood. Yum, nerds. And why don't you come for a ride with me on my scooter?